Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Morris, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. This is our first video of From Student to Doctor. In this video, we're going to discuss the basics, the beginning, how to get started, and then at the end, we'll talk about the details of the coaching program, what you'll need, what to expect, and then the outcome. All right, so a little bit about myself. I'm a veterinarian by trade. I got my Doctor of Veterinary Medicine at St. George University in Grenada, the Spice Island of the world. I also attained at the same time my dual degree, Master's in Science in Pharmacology. Before that, my undergraduate was at Prairie View A&M University. The Prairie View A&M University, HBCU, just north of Houston, Texas. And yeah, now I'm here, deciding my hours, deciding how many days I want to work, and making that ultimate decision for myself. That was the biggest thing for me, getting out. But the process of getting through was what we're really here about. So, imposter syndrome. Let's just hop right in. I didn't know what imposter syndrome was until last semester before clinical rotations. They were talking about it, and I asked the colleague, and I was like, what is that? Because I honestly didn't know that, didn't feel any of that. I felt very supported, very firm in what my plan was, where I was going, what the goals were. And it wasn't until I first went or stepped foot into I do school, my clinical rotation, that I begin to feel a little bit small. I begin to doubt myself and start taking on some of those negative feelings and connotations from people around me. And that did affect me. It definitely did. I know it's very common now, but it's not something that should be. So I guess the first thing we'll discuss is that's not normal, okay? You are paying several X's amount of dollars for your education. And at the end of it, you should feel confident that you got exactly what you paid for, you were supported, and they helped you along through the process of things. The second thing is, let's talk about the culture of clinical rotations. Man, this is something they should talk to you, at least warn you about before you get in there, that it is a very cutthroat, competitive environment. It's not necessarily one of let me help you help me, let me help you fill in the gaps. None of that. None of that. People kind of thrive on feeling like, ha, I got the answer, or ha, I'm better than you, which is not the goal of clinics because really at that point in stage, as a student on the cusp of being a doctor, you're a little bit fragile in a sense that it feels like, at least for me, it felt like I was carrying around this big bag of puzzle pieces and I couldn't quite yet put them all together to make sense for me as a doctor. So growing up, I didn't really have a lot of hands-on experience. I did some volunteering, but in terms of like seeing a hospital function, that was my first time seeing a hospital, seeing all the diagnostics up close and personal, and seeing the pricings for things is everything. So I was just like deer in the headlights, like wow, trying to soak in as much as I could. So I felt like I was starting from ground zero. I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do, and they were asking me to do all these things. And I was just like, I am a person that I need to see it be done so I can at least have a format in my mind of what to follow. If you're just like, I want you to do this, da da da, okay, I can do that. You know, I can put some things together, but it might not be at the standard that they're expecting. Like, I personally just need to see what you need, and then I can emulate that and move on and tailor it towards how I would professionally do things out in the real world. So there's that aspect. There's also the aspect of not being confident in your answers and not being confident enough to, even if you know the answer, to say the right answer you know and not think that the answer in your head is wrong. I feel like I did that. Like I would ask a simple question. It could be like 1 + 1, 3. because I doubted that 2 was the right answer, even though in my head I knew it was the right answer. Very simplified version, but something definitely second to that. Like I typically would give my first answer second, and then the answer that was way off in left field, that would be the first response. Why? A little bit of imposter syndrome, then a little bit of negative self-thought mixed in with decreased confidence, and voila, that's how you got that. But yes, the object, I guess the end goal of this would be to discuss with you my coaching program. And that's exactly what it is. This is not something where I give you information and homework, though you will get those things to ease you into that transition and help along with the process. But the end goal is that you feel confident and that you decide how you want to be treated, how you want to be taught, and making sure that you get the respect in the same process, because everybody deserves respect whether you know them or not, whether you agree with their lifestyle choices or not. Everybody deserves respect, and that's the bare minimum and should be given freely. So the coaching process, yes, it does cost money. No, it's not free. Just say that out there because, as veterinarians, you'll learn, if not already, that people are going to ask for some free things. And nothing that's water, unfortunately, is free. But yes, it does cost some money and some time to invest on your end as well as mine. But it is a 5-month course. We have face-to-face conversations, text calls, touch-ins. Again, it's not purely based on homework and assignments, though like I said, you will still get those things. We go through trials, we go through some tests that I give you, and ultimately a lot of reports back and forth. There are certain things that I'm going to want to know that you're completing every week while you're there on each rotation. I'm going to want to know how your progress is coming along. I want to know your feedback, how you're feeling, making sure that you feel that you have everything that you need. If there are support or more things that you need, like a therapist, counselor, we'll give you those aids as well. But what you're paying for is the transition. You're paying for the development into somebody that is confident, somebody that is strong and firm, 10 toes down in their profession, in their career. So we will talk about this in our next video, concerns with applications, how to reach out, if you're interested, email and types of things. So just stay tuned. And again, thank you. Continue to be confident, continue to be firm on what you say and believe in, and understand that you're grown, okay? And you're paying for your education, so at least get something that you're paying for. All right. Be safe out there and have a good evening.